One. Hello, chat. Welcome back. We're back on the website again because I found things. More like game theory found things, and I'm just using that information. But we're back with our little goober man. And our wonderful array of colorful characters, which I have grown to like. Okay, but we have a few things to go over. Now I'm pretty sure you're all aware of the Crispy Sweets Frosted Cereal, which, if it will load, I will definitely show you. Um, but it had the box on the back, which had the code on it for the decoder, which had where the answers to what all these little symbols meant all over the website. And if you're curious, it was www.awayfrompryingeyes.net. I suggest you I suggest you definitely check the site out for yourself so you can go and explore it yourself, but I'm here to show you what's going on and reading everything out loud. Hello. If you have found this page, thank you. It shouldn't have been that difficult to arrive, but it would take effort to get here regardless. The Welcome Home Restoration Project is a unified effort that first launched in January 2022. The goal seemed so small for the website. It was to uncover Welcome Home fully and to tell its story. It needed me. I needed it. Everyone started to look at us. You wanted this as badly as I do. I know you do because you come here again and again to see what I found. I was sure that the end was in sight, or at least served as the beginning of it. But since then, nothing has made sense to me. No one has come forward or provided any leads, and dead ends have since piled up. Nothing from our curator, who has since recovered. I don't know what happened to them to become so unwell. To create that page, what has arrived, however, has felt truly upsetting. There was something on the old website. We have since remodeled, but everything still feels burned into my mind. Videos, text, crude drawings, invading the space that I had created. I felt nauseous when I found it. I was paranoid too, more so than I have been. I've been working so diligently to achieve this goal. It's been such a long time. It's been almost 4 years publicly, and I've yet to truly find it. So much sacrifice, focus, and time. So I've created this website to catalog these findings alongside our other unconventional recoveries of Welcome Home and its material. I wanted to document this without upsetting individuals who look hopefully at Welcome Home and our efforts. I also don't want our contributor to find it. I don't know if this is them. How could it be? Still, it is better to archive what has shown up rather than destroy it outright. I want to make sense of why they would do this. I want to write about how I've been feeling too. I have no one to write to. If something happens to me, it will be like nothing had happened at all. Our latest update, I hadn't realized so much time had passed. It's already March of 2024 when I write this. So much has rotted in my home since then, and I don't want that to happen again. I will update as regularly as I can. The website's clean now. Nothing should be in there, and I'll make sure it won't happen again. Please forgive me this time as I upload and archive everything onto the website from before. Thank you so much for finding us, and don't forget to wave a pie. W. The first thing I'd like to talk about real quick is this W, and I do not believe it is Wally because I believe it's on the broken phone, which is what we're going to go through next. It says right here, here is the audio. You can hear Wally too, can't you? So I'm starting to think W is just like the abbreviation and is not actually Wally. And now that we've done that, I feel like we should take a listen to the phone call. And I'd just like to warn, this Wally is not the best singer. So, uh, j- uh, this is going to be no commentary, and and at the end I'm gonna comment on a few things, like, and just go back through it. So, just have a listen.
Hello? Hello? I'm calling to wish you a happy home warming from me and home. Toyland, Toyland, little girl and boyland. While you dwell within it, you are ever happy there. Childhood, Joyland, mystic merry Toyland. Once you pass its borders, you can never return again. When you've settled, my dears, and come in just as you'll laugh and ponder on the years that roll so swiftly by, my dears, that roll so swiftly by. Childhood's joyland, mystic merry toyland. Once you pass its borders, you can never return Was that better? I've been practicing. I'm trying to get better at singing. Did you like it? I wish I knew, but you still won't tell me anything. It's so quiet. It's so quiet. It's so quiet during home warming. Everyone's usually so busy, so it's just me and home for a long while. But I still like home warming. Everyone likes home warming. I don't want to end this call, but I have to go get ready for home warming. Barnaby will be here soon. I have to go. Remember, until you hear me again, keep your smile merry, and always know that I love you very much. Goodbye.
Okay, now that was the audio. I'd also just like to mention this little switch in tone that happens, like, right between these lines. If we go back to this, it's gonna be near the end.
Everyone likes home warming.
Um,
I don't want to end this call, but I have to go get ready for home warming.
I think it's really bright
Barnaby
right here.
will be here soon. I have to go.
So that's what I found interesting was the fact that it just kind of switches, and Wally's tone, it like just completely changes. It goes from the more monotone voice that we're all kind of more used to because of the secrets that we find, and then it goes to the voice that we like normally hear with the advertising and the audio that's on the website, which I think is just very interesting in general. Um, I also thought it was interesting that the song was Toyland, which I did mention in the previous video, but this was actually one of my favorite Christmas songs for a while, so I know this one quite well. And if the concept is just once you go into Toyland, you cannot leave. That's kind of what I'm picking up, especially with the specific songs that have been chosen in the past, especially when it comes to Wally. Like the original one with the with the duet page was "Beautiful Dreamer," and now it's Toyland. So I think it's interesting, and it kind of plays into the theme that the puppets are trapped inside of home, or like in the neighborhood. So I thought that was interesting. Um, And if we go back to um, this, so it appears the person who's writing this is not Wally. Let's keep that in mind. But they have clearly seen that what's going on the website. They have found what we have all seen on the website. Um, Nothing should be there, and we'll make sure it doesn't happen again. I think that's interesting right here, especially with the fact that if we go to the welcome home page and then we go back to we go back to the news page and we go down here, Frank with his gelatin, um I believe that this like that a whole page is written by the person who's been writing these, because it's it's just the toning, it kind of sounds like the person who's been writing this. And I also think it's interesting that they're like making sure that this is never going to happen again. Yet the person who wrote this says home has never been sweeter to us, which is just interesting in general. Like, and it raises the question that maybe they all have had been in contact with the puppets this whole time, which is also kind of shown with this. But it's odd to me that the fact that the person who received the call, this mysterious W person, didn't respond to Wally. And if we go back to the phone transcript, it shows um right here. I wish I knew, but you still won't tell me anything. It's interesting because we know that Home, Wally, and Barnaby can all communicate, which was interesting in general, which kind of makes me think every neighbor can communicate with Home. So I don't think this is talking about Home, because Wally seems to be able to communicate with him pretty well. And I do think this is targeted towards this W person that's receiving the phone call in general. So yeah. And I also realized I didn't read this, so I'll read it now. I keep tinkering with the welcome home toy phone, or rather I've been playing with it. It plays everything as it should. The only button that consistently changes is Wally's, which either doesn't play at all or warbles out something incorrectly. Today it rang for me. Sometimes it will do this. I assume a button must be jammed to consistently play that noise. Instinctively, I answer it, but nothing will come out. I've caught myself saying hello into the receiver in the past, but I've stopped now. This time, however, audio started playing that shouldn't be playing. I was so worried it was in my head again, but I have proof it wasn't. Here's the audio. You can hear Wally too, can't you? It was in my head again, I believe, is talking about the mold black goo that was forming on a lot of the stuff in the the merchandise before it was found, that was mentioned on the page that you unlocked with the vault on the original website. So that, I'm thinking, is what's kind of correlating here. It is still just, no one knows what it is, but I'm thinking it is just going to end up being the black goo. And the more interesting thing is we have a bunch of commercials that last 22 minutes. And I'm just going to play this for you, and then we're going to go back through it. Again, I do suggest you go check this out. Or I'm not going to go through, I don't know why I said that. I'm going to go through this and show you the parts I thought were interesting, and just like some things I found off in general. And yes, please take this warning, especially the strange audio. There is, yeah, it was weird. Flashing lights, loud sounds, and strange audio. Just remember that. Whatever I found is remarkable. It seems like a miracle. When the website first launched, I had found something playing from a very old television in my home. I was compelled to turn it on. I could see something. I could hear it too. But I had nothing to record it with. I would occasionally turn the television on. I don't know why. I think I could hear or see something. Finally, last year in the summer, I had taken a photo and listened to the dialogue that I believed to be from the show itself. I felt like an idiot. I hadn't recorded anything. I was so entranced by what I was seeing. Since then, I haven't turned it off. I wouldn't let that mistake happen to me again. If I kept watching and listening, I knew something would come back. I was finally rewarded in December. The channel it appeared on didn't make any sense, but I didn't care. The video evidence and audio started playing, one after the other. I've captured and compiled together what I could. I can't make any sense of anything. Older television always felt strange to me anyways. And that's just like an entrance thing right here. It's just jazz.
I sure love snow.
That ain't snow, kid.
And this is just I just kind of found this funny with the thing with Wally just being off tune with everything. This is a commercial, presumably and shown, for the Frosted Flakes on the merchandise page, which I'm not just gonna go back to. Actually, I'm not gonna do that. I
It's
just kind
The
of
sweet
sugar
sugar
taste
taste
of
of
crispy
crispy
sweets.
sweets.
just
Wow.
completely off.
Did you
tune.
complete your Christmas list yet? If not, bring the taste of the neighborhood to your home with the
And we have the cookbook, which was seen, and I do have the video in process. I swear it will be coming out soon. Yeah, that's if you're. I suggest you watch the video. For context, apparently Santa Claus came in and started eating things, so that's the context behind that. Oh,
Oh, that went down the wrong chimney.
hold on.
home.
Some time to enjoy the holidays. Even I don't knit every day. My wings hurt.
Oh, something I'd also like to mention is Eddie is very prominent in this, all of these commercials. It's mainly, it's, kind of seen
Just
through,
thinking about it.
Oh, don't you fret
Like
your
Eddie's
feathers
point
over
of view.
me. I'm fine. I'm looking forward to delivering the gifts my friends have all gotten for each other.
Oh, now hold on. Don't go anywhere. You? Yeah.
There's also a lot of these.
Yes, you.
Yes, darling. Don't touch that dial.
We'll be back to the Welcome Home Homewarming Special after these sponsors.
And also what I'd like to mention is all these sponsors are just welcome home ads.
How did we do, Sally?
Oh, just simply marvelous, Franklin. La la.
Forget that Mama Beagle's barn was amiss. And I remember
Yeah, this is Barnaby's mom. I didn't know that. Barnaby's mom was just
hearing her clear as day.
Oh, Barnaby, you silly pooch. I think you're missing something special.
What's that, Ma? I got the milk in the stocking, a cricket on the hearth, and a ham in the tree, just for Santa Claus.
And if you're curious, homewarming is like Wally's own holiday that was created by Wally. We're gonna skip past a lot of this. Oh yeah, this is just like a tobacco
Something
ad
that'll
for
really
Barnaby, which I think is interesting. And okay, what I'd like to mention.
Or the beautiful, robust taste that.
Eddie. This is from Eddie's point of view, and this happens a lot, which is like really interesting, and it shows up really prominently in like about here, which we'll go back to later. But let's just watch this clip.
Oh, prettier than a magnolia in May. Well, no one has asked me to deliver nothing yet, but I know they'll be calling me up real soon. Till then, I reckon I'll just focus on wrapping my own presents. You know, I ain't never had so little to do on a holiday before. No matter, I can fill in the time just fine. Let's see. Oh, let's wrap Sally's presents first. Or actually, maybe Julie's. She's gonna love this chimney cozy I got her. I mean, I hope she does. Well, come to think of it, Julie hasn't called me either. She always calls to play some sort of game. What if these presents are relevant? What if our house doesn't get cold? No, need to indulge in the whimsy, Eddie. Let's focus on someone else instead. What about,
If you're curious, the thing with Julie and her house getting cold is the fact that Julie canonically hibernates. You know what? She's a monster, so you know what? She's a little puppet monster. It makes sense within the canon. I just thought I'd mention that for those who were confused.
Wally? I know his interests don't change much at all. Could get that fella an apple every day and he'll be happy as a clam. Yep. Okay, there we go. Done and done. I sure can wrap these fast. I'm gonna be done before I know it. I ought to slow down on the wrapping there, and if I go too fast, I'll be back to nothing to do. Okay, who's next? Maybe Frank has some kind of bug catching. No, not during the snow time, I don't think.
Yoo-hoo! Yes, sir,
That's pretty much the end of that Eddie clip, but there's about 3 of these, and I'm pretty sure down here it mentions that it was like nothing, but the show never appeared beyond clips of Eddie. I think that's basically what this is showing, is the only thing they got was Eddie. And those are just the songs. Oh, here's the other clip.
Oh, brother. Up and at 'em, boys. That's right. It's back to work for you, grubs.
So sorry, Uncle.
Me, nothing to.
Grubs?
So sorry, Uncle.
I've been in the post office all day, and no one has given me nothing to deliver. Maybe I missed something. Maybe a memo, a note, like anything. Maybe this is. Wait, no, that's just the shopping list. Okay, well, no notes here. Oh, oh, I bet everyone's outside playing in the snow. I can't see anyone out there. Maybe they're in the woods. Oh, shucks. Can't just leave the post office. Why, I bet the moment I leaves, the moment someone should walk in needing something or other. Mercy, why ain't no one told me anything? Not a call, a visit, a peep, or nothing. How am I supposed to do my job when no one gives me something to do? Who's ever heard of folks getting recognition for nothing? No one. That's who. At least I don't think so, anyway. Maybe I ought to just go out for a walk.
Okay, what I think is just, like, interesting about that is the fact that Eddie is clearly mad, which is something we don't see. He's, like, stressed. It's interesting that that is, like, it's gonna be, like, a clear theme that's gonna happen, like, throughout these clips. Is, like, just stress, but I think Eddie is never shown stress. Like, if we go into the media, or no, I think it's gonna be in the merchandise and stuff, but, like, when we get audio for Eddie, he's always, like, more happy and kind of nonchalant. Like, he doesn't know what's going on, but, like, he's always there. Which is kind of what I find interesting, because it's, like, explicitly said that he doesn't take breaks. Kind of like Howdy. So I think that's just, like, an interesting thing to put in there.
Berkshire Bite.
And then that's dog food ad if you're curious.
That's okay. I forgot my lines anyway.
Oh wait, this is actually really funny. Hold on, this is actually one of the funniest things I've seen in this whole thing.
A barely silent night.
this is just really funny. I need to show this.
Silent night, quiet night, all is calm. All 30 seconds ago, right?
Round yon beagle, puppy and hen, barking loudly now and again.
Peace and quiet, please. Peace and quiet, please.
Those are not the lyrics I wrote!
Well, it's a silent night, and you already had a song.
It's called Barely Silent Night, you Philistine! There's not a creative bone in your cylindrical body!
I am very creative. My bow ties are perfect.
Hate your bow ties!
You take that back.
Make me
Is this where I come in?
No!
That's okay. I forgot my lines anyway.
Night in the neighborhood.
It was just really interesting to me that Frank and Sally are, like, seen fighting a lot. I think Frank is just seen fighting with everyone, in all honesty. I believe this is... Well, let's see
But what's this? It would seem
this is a-
one home
this is a
hasn't
melatonin
quite
ad,
turned out the
which I thought
lights
was kinda
is
interesting.
here to save and direct.
Thinking of a lot of new things to draw. Thank you, Renderim.
And here's just one of the last clips I'm gonna show, and I'll show you this now.
Fear not, mailman. It is I, your beloved star of the home-warming tree, come to bestow peace onto your worrisome mind. Ow! The reason we didn't ask you to deliver any presents is quite simple. We have already done it.
Really? What are you doing up there?
Everyone insists you work so hard. All of us wanted to give you a break so you could finally enjoy it for yourself. So stuff an envelope in it and escort me to Wally's
Well,
homewarming party.
maybe I
Come along,
do need a
hurry,
break.
hurry!
Okay, I'm coming.
And so Sally Starlet and Eddie Deer make their way to home together with the rest of their friends. When they entered the doorway, the neighbors cheered. Finally, everyone was here. After hanging up his coat and hat, Eddie plopped himself down on one of Home's open seats.
Maybe this is what I needed. A love seat and my single pea on a plate. Yeah.
For context, in the cookbook, one of the best recipes on there, and that I said I would make if the video got 1 like, is the singular pea on a plate. It needs a little bit of context, but it does fit in if you were weirded out by that.
Yeah, I'm fonder than a frog's hair split 4 ways.
And so, the resident, reliable mailman finally got to take a day off for himself. Everything was delivered. His friends were all here, and, most important of all, Eddie Deer was happy. Eddie Deer was happy. And so Sally Starlet and Eddie Deer picked their way to home, together with the rest of them. They entered the doorway,
Hello, Mr. Deer. I heard from Sally that you've been worried about deliveries all morning.
All morning? More like all day! I could see it all from my spot up on the tree. It's not easy being the most important decor for home warming. But I do what I must for this little neighborhood.
I still don't know who helped you get up there. Well, if you've been in your post office all day, it couldn't have been you, could it, Mr. Deer? Mr. Deer? Mr. Deer, are you listening? Mr. Deer? Mr. Deer?
Where?
Eddie! Eddie, are you there? Why aren't you answering? Eddie!
A happy home warming to one and all!
Okay, what I think is just genuinely interesting about this whole clip right here is it's mainly kind of driven around the fact, and in my opinion, that Home is watching Eddie. Like, it's like kind of really explicitly shown, because it's kind of like showing wherever Eddie looks, something home related is watching him. Like with the clock and just with Home being there in general. And I also think it's just kind of weird that only Frank stayed and Sally walked away. Because Sally didn't do anything and Frank did. Because there is frankly nothing wrong with being Frank. Admittedly, I'm frustrated. I feel distraught. When I finally fell asleep, no more videos or audio ever returned. What could have been seen made me feel sick. To record so little took so much work. When footage would disappear, I would have to move to another channel, or another would appear, and then disappear again. I knew I had to stop though. I was too exhausted and I was tired of waiting through hours of static just to find another commercial. I don't know how this was happening, but the show never appeared beyond clips of Eddie Deer. I don't want to post this publicly on the Welcome Home Restoration Project site. At least not yet. I can't stomach anything that's happening. W. There's not much left of this. It's basically just this. And then it ends. Oh. Did not mean to do that. But that is basically everything on this page. And what I'd kind of like to know is that Home seems to be watching everyone, which was kind of shown throughout the website. Like, something is watching us, and it's kind of assumed to be Home, because if I were to go into the neighborhood, Home is the one, he's front and center in is just looking, right? That's like his thing. There are eyes on every page except for the merchandise page, which I find odd. But this kind of looks like a heat image, like a heat, like those heat cameras. It's kind of what that reminds me of. But Home has always been associated with eye image and spiral imagery, right? As well as our boy Wally. So, kind of what we've all been piecing together is Sally knows there's something wrong, right? Because of the Halloween thing where she talks about hearing something and then it's kind of played off as just being Poppy. But I don't think that's correct. We had something with Frank because of the bugs all over the website and Frank being associated with the bugs. And then we had Eddie. Now we have Eddie because he's being, like, targeted, almost, is what I'd put it as. But he's being, like, watched, and it's kind of this whole thing is just focused on Eddie during the Christmas special. And I think what this is going for, and what this is all adding up to, is people are starting to see things going wrong. That's kind of what I'm picking up with this. I also think it's cool how Home now has legs, because if you kind of look at this, it looks like Home is the head, right? This is the head, this is the neck, this is the body, and these are the legs. These are the arms. It just kind of feels interesting to me, because it's just, there isn't much you can put. There's a lot here. Like, there's a lot here, especially with the phone. Like, it's interesting that this person, this W, is getting calls, and Wally seems to be explicitly talking to them. And just the fact that it's kind of building up, so everyone is starting to feel like something's wrong and something's happening. Because if we go into the merchandise page, everything's like in the merchandise page, which it's always just kind of been interesting to think about that. There isn't much you can find outside of the merchandise page. In the Happy Hunting to Boo and Yours storybook, with this party that Sally hosts, she starts talking about how she hears something every night, and it's not fun. And kind of what I could see this as is just Sally telling a scary story and then it just being Poppy. But considering how the series has been so far, I don't think that this is just a scary story. I think Sally has seen something or heard something, and that has been just made clear, especially with now the fact that we saw Frank with the bugs all around the website, and now the commercials targeting Eddie. Like, that's kind of what I'm seeing. And I think that is all I have got, really. I hope you guys did enjoy the stream. I had a lot of fun filming this. And I will see you guys next time.